Hello there, everybody. This is a weird angle to be filming from, but I've been wanting to do this for a bit now and just couldn't decide how I wanted to do it. But I want to take you all along with me on how I've been doing my Ancestor readings lately because I've really shifted how I do them. Just with new tools coming in, new ways to use tools. So I thought this would be interesting, and the reason I was just kind of struggling with how do I film this is because I really like to do them at my official reading desk, because this is not where I usually film. I usually film on my cedar chest thing, whatever they're called. But yeah, I figure if I'm gonna do a reading, I'd like to do it here. So I accidentally happened upon a different sort of tripod camera holder thing that now makes this work, although I think it still might be an odd angle, so apologies if that's the case, but this is what we got going on here. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we gotta start, of course, by lighting our candles, and of course I moved my candle lighter. Where did that go? Darn it. I did not think this through before just pressing start. Wow, I really walked away with that one. Okay. Be right back. Gotta find the candle lighter. Alright, I found a different one. Because I don't know where that other one went. Pro tip, if you have ADHD, just do yourself a favor, and if you're talking on the phone, don't pick up anything. Because that's exactly what happened. I was lighting other candles while I was on the phone, and now the lighter's gone. This is a really intense one though. So I like lighting these candles when I do any reading. And we're gonna do some incense for this one. Incense is something I always do with my morning readings, but not like every other reading. But sometimes I'll do a second stick in a day for something like this. Alright. I like to do some extra cleansing as well, so I do have this herb bundle I made from my garden this year. So we'll do some of that. Okay. Now, what we're working with here, and what really inspired this, is the new Beloved Dead Oracle. I'm forgetting the creator's names, I'm so sorry, but I'll have everything below. But from Wiser. And something about this deck really launched me back into Ancestor work, and really doing Ancestor work in a more, I don't know if serious way is the term I'm looking for, but a more dedicated way, perhaps, is what I mean. So what I do as of late is, instead of necessarily shuffling and picking one of these cards, I go through the deck and pick out any card that feels like it relates to anything I'm currently working on, themes that are coming up in readings a lot lately, and I'll lay them all out on the desk here. So I'm going to speed up the video and do that process with you all. I've got a bunch of cards picked out here. Let's try and get them all in frame for the most part. Scooch these up. And I realize this looks like a lot, but you will see what happens here. So again, we've got a bunch of cards from the deck here that just, either the keywords stood out to me for, in my brain right now, no good reason, or it's something like, oh, okay, this has been coming up a lot. Like, I picked out the leadership card because there's been sort of this like new opportunity at work that would require more of a leadership role. So things like that. All right, this is where it gets fun. And this is very much inspired by Danny Mystic, who as part of her channel membership is teaching us more about how she works with playing cards, and has been so cool. I'm not giving like anything away through this, but I then take a deck of playing cards for my Ancestor work. For some reason this Uusi one is the one that wants to get used every time. So I take a playing card deck and I use the basic red meaning yes, black meaning no, as the guidance for what themes my ancestors actually want me to be focusing on. So how I view this, all these cards, and this playing card method, is now the playing cards are going to show to me which ancestors are actually willing to step forward right now and work with me. Basically, like, what they are deeming as important to be looking into right now is kind of how I see it. So we're going to give these a good shuffle. Okay, and now what I do is I assign a playing card to each of these cards here. And I pull them the same way I do tarot cards, where it's very much just whatever cards are just feeling right. But you could do it, you know, if you're someone who just, you like to take from the top of the pile. You do that way for sure. However you so choose, if you even want to try this. Okay, so now each of the cards I initially pulled have a playing card. So we're going to flip them all over, see which ones are yeses and which ones are nos. And I have entirely run into the situation where it is all nos. And what that says to me, again, this is just based on feeling, is either there's a recognition that I'm not in the space to be doing this, because this does lean, for me, towards that kind of shadow work thing. So either it's a recognition of, hey, like, you're not in the right space to be doing this, or I haven't picked something that I need to really think about, so I'll leave all of the cards out, shuffle the oracle, and then pull one card. So that's the answer to that. However, most likely, we're gonna have a yes in here, I say. Oh, hopefully. Okay, already. So sovereign. That's a no to communication. Yes to personality. No to leadership. What card is that? Is this an extra? I didn't realize that this deck had extras, so we're gonna think on that. That's interesting, huh? We've got no, no, yes, and no. Okay, see how that's cool, right? I think it is. I shouldn't just like go deeming things I'm doing as cool, huh? Because that's probably inherently uncool. Anyway, so again, it's a basic yes or no. I'm not looking further into it usually. However, I do think automatically it's cool that, like, We have a 4. We've got 4, 5, 6, and it's all diamonds. But, anyway, I'm not going to say any more because, again, I've been really paying attention to those videos from Danny, and I don't want to accidentally, I don't know, spill her magical secrets. Because I've got a big mouth, you know? You have to be careful when you've got a blabber mouth. Like I do. And or just a forgetful brain where you forget your hear stuff. Anyway, so here's what we have going on here. Really cool though that we've got the 4, 5, 6 of diamonds. So if I want to look at that in like a tarot way, we've got diamonds can be related to pentacles, so clearly this is something, it's feeling very physical in the like physical realm here. So it gives me the feeling of like something I can really feel in my body almost. We've got Sovereign, Personality, Act of Love, Be You, and I'm taking this card here. We got the extra in the deck, and what's feeling interesting to me is it's on the Survive card, and given that we had all those diamonds, looking at that like as related to the pentacle suit of the physical realm, it feels to me that this Survive card is a overarching feeling that I am getting from maybe struggling with these 3 here. So we're going to keep that one out. And from here, I will typically read the wonderful guidebook from this deck. I really enjoy it, and come up with kind of almost like a mini spread from myself to see, because now we've got the what. This deck here gives me the what we're looking into. Then I'm gonna want to look into the, okay, maybe either why or how to shift. So I am going to pause, look at the guidebook, and I don't know, I'll bring you back when I know where to go from there. Okay, after going through the guidebook, it is clear to me what's getting brought up here. And what I'm wanting to expand upon is the cards very much, for me here, are talking about a survival mode I have been in for a long time surrounding having to mask my neurodivergence. Of course, that's gonna be like a huge thing to work on, and it's not like, you know, it was very straightforward to me because it's something that obviously I've been working on for a long time. I will be working on for a long time, and that's okay. But more specifically, where these cards are taking me are this sort of new idea journey I've been on of, we've got this Sovereign here, which is all about self-control, which seems to be like very much juxtaposed, especially to this Personality card where it's this man freely laughing. And then we've got Be You. And so to me, this really represents my masked self and the masking I have to do, which is often very, very different from, I can't, this camera angle is, it's messing with me, an actual authentic self. And something I've been really experiencing lately is that, like, I spend all, now that I'm so conscious of the masking going on, but haven't reached a place where I feel like I can completely unmask, and in reality that's probably something that I won't ever be able to fully do in every single setting I'm in. But now that I'm so conscious of it, it's like once I get really back to my home space where I'm comfortable, it goes between these two extremes of like, okay, the Sovereign all put together, completely in control of the self, to then getting to a safe space and almost like completely unraveling, like having these very intense meltdowns where I feel entirely out of control. And so it's been this challenge of being in this survival mode because it's this very intense back and forth instead of finding a more sustainable middle ground where I know it's not realistic to completely unmask in every scenario I'm in my day-to-day, but maybe I can meet myself in the middle where I'm not keeping myself together in this way to an intense point where I'm in the place of this sovereign, which is not really me, but not feeling so out of control of my actions because I've basically just overdone it throughout my day. So, let's get I think the why and what is very clear to me here, obviously, so I think we're more going to lean into the guidance. I would like some guidance from from Ancestor, and another favorite is the Carte Postale tarot, so that's what we're going to pull from here, and I think we're just going to do 3 cards and keep it simple. Since we already really, I got a lot from even just the oracles, but we'll see. We'll see where this takes us. It's currently snowing a little bit outside. Isn't that so? I'm so excited about it. Like this early snow. Oh my gosh. It's so magical. I can't see it super well because it's dark, but fun nonetheless to know what's happening. Okay, let's get some guidance here. We're doing 4. Feels like 4 is wanting to come out. Ha ha. Yeah, okay. So, am I in screen there? Mostly. Enough. So our guidance here, we've got the 8 of Wands, the Magician, Death, and 2 of Coins. Now, I'm finding interesting here is how we are kind of bookended by 8 of Wands, which is this fast-paced movement. Receiving messages, to me, feels like very... 8 of Wands, whenever it comes up for me, feels very related to the more ADHD side of my brain. Where the 2 of Coins is feeling like it represents, like, my need for structure, routine, stability. It's like those 2 sides of myself really battling it out. And in the middle, we've got the Magician with this creation, but death with change. And I love, too, that this card says memento mori, of that idea of, like, we all must die. So I'm feeling like the guidance here, and it's kind of cool, because, like, as I was saying before, it was already feeling like this ask to meet myself in the middle. So I'm feeling like, honestly, it's as simple as spending some time taking these 2 extremes, recognizing when I'm in these 2 extremes. I think that is a huge emphasis for me, is like pointing out to myself, hey, this is the state you're in right now. You're in an extreme. And knowing that it's within my toolkit, within my power to shift what's happening. Am I moving too fast through my day? Am I doing too much at once? Where it feels good in the moment, but I know by the time I get home, I'm not gonna feel good anymore. Is that what's happening? Okay. Let's shift that to somewhere in the middle here, versus going to the other extreme of, like, trying to control my every single move emotion, facial expression, everything that I am presenting to the world, feeling like I need to really like balance and take on the responsibility of that. Recognizing when I'm doing that, and again, giving myself the freedom to be a bit more carefree. So, okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed following along on this reading. Let me know if you want to see more of these. If I don't always have too many like set ways of doing readings per se. This is one I've just been really enjoying how the method works out. Let me know if you try it. That would be so fun. But other than that, I hope you're all having a great week so far. And I'll see you again very soon.